Thank you very, very much, General Caine. I am required to ask you some standard questions that we ask of all nominees in your situation. And so if you will just answer yes or no to these questions, keep your talk button pressed. Have you adhered to the applicable laws and regulations governing conflicts of interest?
Yes, Senator, I have.
Have you assumed any duties or taken any actions that would appear to presume the outcome of the confirmation process?
No, Senator, I have not.
Exercising our legislative and oversight responsibilities makes it important that this committee, its subcommittees, and other appropriate committees of Congress receive testimony, briefings, reports, records, and other information from the executive branch on a timely basis. Do you agree, if confirmed, to appear and testify before this committee when requested?
I do, Senator.
Do you agree, when asked before this committee, to give your personal views, even if your views differ from the administration?
I do, Senator.
Do you agree to provide records, documents, and electronic communications in a timely manner when requested by this committee, its subcommittees, or other appropriate committees of Congress, and to consult with the requester regarding the basis for any good faith delay or denial in providing such records?
I do, Senator.
Will you ensure that your staff complies with deadlines established by this committee for the production of reports, records, and other information, including timely responding to hearing questions for the record?
I will, Senator.
And two more, General. Will you cooperate in providing witnesses and briefers in response to congressional requests?
Yes, Senator, I will.
Will those witnesses and briefers be protected from reprisal for their testimony or briefings?
They will, Senator.
Thank you very, very much. Now, let me just start out by asking about some hyperbole that may have been out there in the press. General Caine, did you wear a MAGA hat in front of the president?
No, sir.
Did you wear a MAGA hat at any time?
No, sir.
Okay, would you like to elaborate on that answer?
Sir, for 34 years, I've upheld my oath of office and my commitment to my commission, and I have never worn any political merchandise.
Okay, thank you for that answer. Now, previous chairmen of the Joint Chiefs of Staff have somewhat equivocated when asked about top-line spending issues. I think you know that about the proposals that will soon be before this Senate and this Congress. Is it, in your best military advice, based on your experience, is it your opinion that we need real growth in the defense budget to maintain deterrence against the very capital cities and interests that you mentioned in your testimony?
Well, Senator, thank you for that question. We definitely must have a sense of urgency related to the budget. I think it comes down to ultimately finding more deployable or allocatable capital. And there's really three ways to do that. We can find greater efficiencies in the budget through cost savings. We can reprogram from different programs, or we can get a higher top line. I think of it in terms of a business model where we get more revenue. So we've got to move quickly and figure out how we can get real purchasing growth over time.
Okay. Well, let's talk about efficiency. In the special operations community and with the CIA, you've worked with some of the most innovative and risk-taking parts of national security enterprise. You also mentioned your experience in the private sector, which I think can serve you well. Startup ventures in the private sector, is that right, General
Yes, sir.
Caine? And if confirmed, you will conduct oversight on the military's requirement processes. We hear constantly from our combatant commanders that it takes years for their military needs to be converted into requirements. Based on your experience, do you believe the requirements process needs to be fixed? And do you agree with those who say it needs to be entirely torn down and rebuilt to get our warfighters what they need according to a timeline in which they need it?
Well, Senator, I definitely agree something has to be done. The solution is probably somewhere in the middle. I don't know that we need to tear the whole thing down. I definitely agree that we need to improve the speed and agility of our requirements process. Technology is evolving so fast, our requirements process does not evolve at the same time. And we've got to have our combatant commander's voice in the requirements process. The one area that I think we also need to do is to keep a global picture on those requirement processes. No two combatant commands have the same requirements, and only the Joint Staff has the global view on those requirements, along with OSD. So if confirmed, I'd like to continue to work with you and the rest of the Congress to sort through this. So I appreciate it.
Well, have you had a chance to read my white paper on the Forged Act and that proposed legislation?
Yes, sir.
Don't you agree that it's a masterful piece of legislation?
I do, sir. It was a beautiful read, sir. Yeah.
Would you like to elaborate on that?
Yeah. Well, sir, I mean, I think it certainly lays out a lot of good markers for improvement in the requirements process.
Well, it seems to me you've worked in the private sector and you work with startups. The number of people in DOD who have to touch something, touch an idea, sign off on an idea to actually get something done is far different from those people who are actually making innovative changes in the private sector. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you agree then that we need to move in the direction of efficiency, and that a lot of the top line money that I mentioned in my second question can be found by efficiencies and moving things faster, and also we can get to the warfighter what they need in a timely manner?
Yes, sir.
Well, let me ask. I've got 12 seconds. I might do a follow-up at the end there. But thank you very much for your testimony, Senator Reed.
Thank you very much.